Hey guys, we are here living the authentic life with the two fabulous entrepreneurs who have created an incredible vodka called Queen Bee Vodka. And we're so happy to have you, Kim Martin and Catharine Faulconer. And of course, Grace Kelly is joining us. So if she snores, don't take it personally. But wow, ladies, you were so generous to come be involved with an event we did at She Space for women and talk about female empowerment. And your story just empowered so many people. So I wanted to share it on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Yeah. This is so fun. Really appreciate it. So thank you.
So women are not normally in the hard liquor category, right? You guys are branching out and you don't look like ladies that would be drinking at a bar at our age. But you're lovely and your product is lovely. I mean, who doesn't love some great roses and the symbolism of a bee as the queen? So how did this even begin? Who's going to start?
I think
y'all dive in together.
Okay, so what happened was I have an autoimmune condition. And so I had taken so much out of my diet, so many things off the table. I had taken off the wheat, the gluten, the corn, genetically modified corn, nightshades, which is potatoes, eggplant, that kind of thing. And so I was like, I'm willing to do that, but I'm really not willing to give up the alcohol. And so I was on a girls' trip, and they're all drinking martinis, and I'm getting a little irritated, to say the least, that I want one too. So I go up to the bartender, and I'm talking to him, and this is in Jackson Hole, and I said, okay, I want a martini, and it has to be something that is not from nightshades. It can't be from wheat. It cannot be from genetically modified corn. And he kind of looked at me with this blank stare and goes, lady, I can't help you. And that was kind of the impetus. Yeah, that was the impetus to it. So you fast forward. And
it was COVID. And so we were learning Mahjong. Catharine is a great Mahjong teacher.
Oh, nice.
And so we were all drinking and we were, having a wonderful time. And Catharine threw out, I'm going to make vodka. Who wants to make vodka with me? And we're going to make it from honey. And of course, the four of us were all deep in the martinis. And we said, absolutely, we're helping. One was going to be the marketing person. One would be the finance director. I was going to raise bees. I've always wanted to do that.
Oh, yes. It's a new category of...
Yes, a new
adventure.
Adventure. And I'm into gardening. And so... when I read about it, I thought, well, maybe I don't want to raise bees. I mean, there's a lot of hive collapse. I mean, you couldn't count on me to raise enough bees to honey.
Get the production.
Yes. Yeah. So the next day when Catharine called, or a few days later, she said, I've got us a distilling class in Denver. Who's in? And it was only me. So it was just the two of us. I like to
last man standing. Sometimes that's how it happens.
I like to say everybody's sobered up. So anyway, and we have known each other since we were in kindergarten and first grade. And so we have been friends forever. And we know we've done volunteer work together. So, Catharine's my go-to person. It's like, yes, I'll do this.
And she can't say no.
And I can't say no. But
I love that. I totally take advantage of it.
But I do think that's a big part of making a successful business venture is trusting the person you're doing it with and having your person that can help pull you through.
Absolutely.
Because after the fun moment of trying to put it together, when the real work goes into making it work, you need somebody that shows up.
Well, we both have. I think that we did know that we had known each other.
Knew that the other was going to show up.
Yes,
and not
we have
just
a really
fly by night because you'd been there for each other.
We're each other's yin and yang.
That's right. And I have EOE. I have eosinophilic esophagitis.
Okay,
and it's an allergy condition in my esophagus. And so really, I'm gluten free as well, and I'm dairy free. And so it appealed to me as well. My dietary restrictions are not as harsh as Catharine's, but I'm supposed to watch it as well to take care of myself. and I like to have vodka too. So, you know, it really has been a whole journey of what we've learned about the spirits business was the most eye-opening to me. I know. Yeah,
She's snoring.
I know, she's snoring. She's quite the communicator. She doesn't need to speak. She can use her little whatever. Okay, so you go to this class and you're like, oh,
okay,
wow.
so it was funny. We were into it about, I guess, the second day, and Kim's like, I really don't think we can do this. And I go, there are men with no teeth that do this.
Yeah.
We can do this. We are college educated. We can do
Right.
this. And sure enough, that was all it took. And she was like, oh, yes, I can. It's like the little engine that could. She's like, oh, yes, I can. So we did. We literally do it all. We truly, other than we are not the beekeepers, that we do it all. We bottle, we do the wrap on the top, we, you know, label. I do the front label.
Yeah, I do the
label.
back. I like the back label.
So how do you go from just creating it from a standpoint of just what the taste is? Like, how did you even figure out the taste? Because I didn't know this term before, but Osmia vodka?
Osmia.
Okay, Osmia vodka.
Osmia vodka.
So what makes that different than other? So is this a category like potato-based vodka?
No.
Or,
So
Okay.
what happens is a potato vodka is predominantly Polish, and then a wheat vodka is predominantly Russian.
Okay.
And you have to have some sort of sugar source.
Okay.
And so
make vodka.
to make vodka, well, really to kind of make kind of anything.
Yeah,
You either have to have a
spirits.
mash, you have to have something that can break down and make into a sugar. And so we decided to do honey because when you ferment honey, which predates wine, it's called mead, then that is our sugar source. And so we take our mead, which is fermented honey, and we distill it. And it goes through this huge column still. And
is that domestically done or
domestic.
internationally?
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's here.
And what we've kind of back up just a little bit, we really felt it was important to try, since we are women in the spirits industry, to really only hire women or predominantly where we can, we'll choose to work with a woman. And we did look very hard here in Houston to find a spot to distill ourselves, but those doors just kept closing. And at the same time, we were working under our mentor and a woman who used to work for Hangar One Vodka and actually took out their vodka and introduced it into the market. So she is our master distiller. And she had space in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and said, you know, girls, how about you come out here and we do this together? And we are so blessed to have her because she knows exactly what she's doing. And so it's really not Catherine and I making this in the bathtub. We really have a very, very professional person leading us, and the equipment is all first class and brand new. So it's very exciting.
And really everybody that we have hired, a woman helped us design our bottle. We have, and helped us do our label. And so it has all these Easter eggs in it. We'll talk about it in a minute. But, and then we have women PR, women attorneys, women attorneys. So yeah, it's all female.
And we have found in the spirits industry that the women have been so helpful. Oh my gosh. At every turn, somebody wants to really give us advice and really kind of lead us through this whole process. Catherine and I have taken our time. We have been working on this. November is 5 years. We wanted to.
Wow.
Yes.
When did it come to the marketplace?
May
2024.
Oh, so people need to know that
it's brand new.
it's really, it takes a while. I think people presume you can come up with a business idea and roll it out quickly. But there's a lot.
If you want to do it right,
Exactly.
if you want it done
Okay,
right.
here's our bottle. We just got her delivered.
Yes.
Let's talk about her because I think there's so much special going
a
on.
lot
So
of Easter
pretty.
eggs.
All right. So I'll hold her and you can tell her. The first thing
Is it's a hexagon.
it's a hexagon.
So the bottom of the bottle is a hexagon, which is a nod to the bees.
Yes.
And because that is a geometric design that they actually create, and it is considered one of the most efficient shapes in nature. So like if you look at a tortoise
wow.
shape, if you look at a tortoise, if you look at giraffe, if you look at, that is the most efficient shape, and they of course do it naturally. So that is our nod to that.
And then on the top It's like a flower. So you have flower petals, and each petal is individual, and it has this undulation like a real petal. So we're very proud of it. It's so beautiful.
It is.
And then on the top is our Art Deco design, and it's a bee. It's a bee. Here, we'll do it this way.
That's pollinating the flower.
Pollinating the flower. So
this
fun.
almost looks like a perfume bottle.
It does.
Like it's not just because most distilleries are in bottles of liquor don't really focus on the shape. Although I have to say, Madame Zero's champagne, they really focused on the stopper at the top and making it special. I guess more it was the cage around the stopper. Was the female. Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
The female image.
Yes.
And he's the only Texas champagne maker ever.
I love that.
From the Champagne region of France. So it's interesting also to be ladies and to be from Texas.
Yes, yes. There are not many. There really are not. But
so out of the category, 10%, 20%?
Oh, not even 20%. I mean, we're growing. I think what if you mean 100% female owned, that's where, you know, a lot of women are in this industry. They may be the master distiller. They may be doing it with their husband, but there's not many that are truly, you know, it may be only, I don't know the percentage. It may be only 5%.
Small.
It's very small.
But I think so when you tell when you're creating this special bottle, are they saying, the powers that be, that's ridiculous to spend this much money. Why would you spend all this money on the packaging? Like, did you get a little kickback from that? Or did you feel like people were like, oh, wow, that's innovative. Way to go.
We didn't listen to any
We didn't listen to anybody.
And we didn't tell anybody we were doing this today. So we really were
because you couldn't share for fear that maybe you wouldn't be the first to do it.
Exactly.
But there was that, and there was also there was the pushback of, you can't do this.
Right.
And, you know, we just didn't want to hear that. Right. We didn't want to hear the negativity, didn't want to participate in it.
We really thought we were only making this for ourselves because we knew we needed a clean vodka. And the thing that we haven't talked about is that there's no additives in it. And so beyond being the source is honey from Tomball and organic sugarcane, that there are no back added sugars or glycerins or anything other in this bottle. So we knew that that's what we needed to be able to drink.
Right.
And the farther along we got and the more excited we got and kind of the feedback we were getting from all of our people helping us, who were all industry experts, really, we did such a good job of that. They were really encouraging to us. Like,
oh, good.
You're onto something.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, great. And you have a niche. And I hear such a clear purpose behind it. And I feel like that is received by people. Like I was saying to you guys before, I don't like having screens put on or filters on my pictures. I feel like when you know who you are and when you know how you want to connect with people and you're clear on your voice and your mindset, that even if it isn't something someone's seen before or they agree with, they appreciate the authenticity, they appreciate the confidence, and they're inspired by that.
That's right. I agree.
I totally agree. Absolutely.
Because there's so much out there.
Yes.
Like, and what my favorite quote is by a guy named Howard Thurman, and he said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it, because what the world needs is more people who come alive." And that's what you guys are saying. You want to have clean alcohol. You still want to have fun, because it's not necessarily, I mean, I do think vodka has a taste, but I'm not one to discern the taste difference. But I feel like it's about the emotion that you feel when you connect with friends and you enjoy it. And this is a conversation piece to add to that connection.
Yes, absolutely. And you bring up a really good point, because vodka really does have a smell and a taste.
Oh, it does.
And it does. And so people who, you know, interestingly, that truly drink a martini. They really do kind of know their Polish vodkas. They know their you know, all their taste. Because a Polish vodka that's potatoes, that's a nightshade, is going to be very kind of earthy. It's going to smell a little earthy. It's going to taste a little earthy. That's nothing wrong with it. That's just the way it is. And it was really, and then if it's wheat, you know, it's going to be not quite as earthy, but not probably quite as sweet as something that's from corn. Corn, genetically modified, whatever it is going to be very sweet. And it's going to roll around in your tongue and be very sweet. And it smells sweet. And then ours.
We tasted so many vodkas.
Oh my gosh. we did.
I mean, it's amazing. They really do have a taste.
And they have a smell. And so it was interesting. The first time we did a garden club, the girl who was our bartender, she said, I really don't like vodka, but I really kind of need to taste it before I serve it. And we were like, sure, go ahead. Had no idea anything about it. And she smells it and she goes, oh my gosh, it's really floral. Then she tastes it and she goes, I don't know what this is, but I like it, and I would like a glass of this at the end of the evening.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was really very interesting that she said that.
And I feel like I don't drink vodka on the rocks where I could, or I don't drink vodka with water, whereas I drink tequila with water. So I'm more discerning as to what taste of tequila I like.
Right.
And for some reason, I guess mixing this with soda and even lime, you don't, or maybe you guys can tell the difference because you're discerning. Because you've done work on figuring out. So what, I watched this show on, I think it's on Apple TV called Drops of God. Have y'all heard of it? It's about wine. But they were talking about all the smells and the taste that comes with wine. And that, you know, you have people stick their nose in and then swish it around and do all that stuff. So how do you, what are the things you look for?
That's what we did.
And vodka. Like, I heard earthy. I didn't know earthy was vodka. I thought earthy was wine.
Yeah. If we got out a bunch of vodkas and blind tested them and just to smell them, you would smell a difference between all of them. Yeah.
And like she's mentioned about corn vodka, it's super sweet. And it actually, if you just taste it, but also I do want to say that a lot of this, I don't believe our vodka burns.
Oh, goodness. Do you, Grace Kelly?
Yeah. Like,
I don't want to burn.
I don't want to burn.
I don't want to burn. No, I don't.
But it, so it does, in the distilling process, they often will use what's called the tails of the run, which at the very end of the run. That the temperature might be off a little bit. It's getting a little harsher. However, a lot of distillers will go ahead. It's usable, and that is why they have to add in additives at the end of when they're making their vodka.
Acidic, or it has a bite to it. It's not.
Bite.
Bite is the word.
Burns.
It burns.
Okay.
And so we are not using the tails. We are stopping it right at the heart.
Which also makes your cost more expensive. There's so much going in. And so how do you compare price-wise to others?
Oh, we're so much more expensive.
We are more expensive because we are allergen-friendly. And if you go home in your bar and you start turning over your bottles and say, what is your source? 90% of them will not even put the source. A few might say wheat.
Distilled from wheat, distilled from grain.
Or distilled from grain.
Distilled from grain. And you really don't know.
What grain? Yeah, you don't know.
The only thing you have to have on your bottle is the government warning telling you not to drive.
If you're pregnant.
If you're pregnant.
Or
not to use some machinery when you've had a cocktail.
That's all the government makes you do.
We are adding our nutritional information and our source and exactly, we have an ingredients list.
Yeah.
So we're telling you.
I know. You want to go.
She's gone.
She's gone.
But yeah, so that's something that it's important to us.
It is important to us.
So we want it. We think it's important to our consumers as well.
So let's talk about how consumers get it, because I thought that was really fascinating. Because I think I shared with you, I wrote a children's book with my daughter, and then I was like, oh, good. Now they're going to sell. And I was like, now how are you going to sell it to my publisher? And she's like, oh, I don't do that part of it. You sell it. I was like, now I have to sell it? Oh, okay. So then it came down to, am I going to focus on selling a $20 book or a $10,000 watch or handbag? So I have a lot of books. still left for sale if anybody wants to buy them. But with that said, like, you guys had to go out and literally try to get shelf space. And you don't think about when you're walking down, I'll say Specs because we're in Houston and not everybody watching is from Houston, but what you see right here on that aisle where your eyes are is really high-end real estate at a liquor store, and that takes a while to get there.
It does.
Well, I feel really lucky because we are in Specs, and they were very kind to take us on. We needed to have sales first, and so I would have to say that girl community really came out for us.
They really did.
And our friends have supported it, and they've tried it. They liked it. And so, you know, I think that's really important because we were always like, well,
I know.
I hope you like it. You know, it's our passion project. We feel like we're putting forth a really high quality product, but you have to like it. And it's been super well received. And so we did get our sales from Specs. And so now we're at Specs downtown. We're at Specs on Fountain View and Wesleyan. We're at Richards.
Richards on Kirby. Village Liquors, all three of those.
Yes, and Longhorn Liquors and
Oasis.
Oasis Liquor in Cypress. So we really, I'm very proud of us. And in Specs, we're our eye level, baby.
I know. It's so fun.
We're at the end of the road.
We are at the end, but that's okay. We're still
started.
I know. So we just started in May. But I do think. I don't know why it surprised me, but women do support women. That's right. It's like they have been our biggest cheerleaders. I mean, that's what we're really good at.
Yes.
We are good cheerleaders. And I think we support each other and we love each other. And I think that's really been, if you go into most liquor stores, it's for men. The bottles are for men, the labels are for men, the names are for men, and we've made this for women. We are leaning into the whole fact that there's not enough product out there for women. And I remember when we were at a farmer's market and they were going around with the little clipboards talking about genetically modified stuff, and I was like, I've never heard of that before. This was years ago, probably 10 years ago maybe. And now you know when you go into a grocery store it says non-GMO.
Exactly.
That's where we want this to go. We want, and if you never buy our alcohol, that's fine. We want an educated consumer. We want people to realize, okay, go home and turn around your bottle and be, you know, I'm not going to put this in my body.
Yes, and you know, like you have allergies, so all day you have worked very hard to eat cleanly, and it is hard when she is on her AIP protocol. Oh my gosh, it is so very difficult. And then you go home and you want a cocktail, and it's like you blew it. You know, I mean, but you didn't even have an option.
I could have just had a cake.
Yeah, and now you have an option. So I know it's educating everybody. So thank you very much for having us. For your listeners.
Absolutely. It's so interesting. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about
I wanted to say one other thing, a couple of things about the bottle. Okay. Osmia is a super pollinator bee.
It's a bee.
So this is a type of bee, and we have trademarked through our female attorney different bee names because we plan on having a whole suite of spirits for women, and you'll be able to tell by looking through, and you'll be like, the pink one is the vodka, the purple one will be the gin, the yellow one will be the rum, and so we'll have different color roses, which is our hometown. Tyler
Rose.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And that's a bee. That's the shape of a bee.
Were you guys in the Tyler Rose Festival in the day?
It just happened last week.
It was 2 weeks ago.
And my son was in it, and Catherine's niece was queen.
Oh my gosh, Trisha Oliver's daughter was in it. Do y'all know her? She's a memorial mom.
Yes.
What was she?
She might have been was she the Biltmore? The Christmas at the Biltmore?
The film Hollywood.
Yes. I love that costume.
Yes. And she's an Aggie, so
really
cutie pie.
Yes.
So exciting. Well, and I love that every part of this has a meaning. And I think that's also, so I found this term, it's called ikigai. Have you guys heard of it? It's a Japanese term. So it's when you figure out what you're good at, what the world needs, how you can offer the world something that maybe they like, the fact that it's clean, that It's
helping the environment with the bees.
It's healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you find out what you could get paid to do, and then what you love to do. You guys are working together. You love to have cocktails, and then it all comes together. You reach this natural state of flow. So you can work all the time because work and play is part of it. And that's
To be with my best friend.
and
drink.
Exactly.
On the job.
And meet other women who are connecting
Like you.
at a happy place of celebration.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty amazing. But let's talk about
So it's ikigai.
ikigai. Yes, it's a
Ikigai.
Japanese term.
I like that.
So also tell us a little bit about so you start this, you figure this out, and now you're already looking at what's next. Was that in the plan in the beginning? When do you think that big? Like for people really trying to strategize, because I didn't start the Vintage Contessa till in my 40s. You guys are obviously starting this in your 40s.
Wish.
So I think there's a lot of women out there looking at when your kids are growing up and you want to have a life with purpose and then use this to connect. But it's a lot of work and it's a big plan. So talk about the planning part of it and the time part of it.
Well, it's still just us. It's still the two of us. We are doing everything. And I think we're doing a really good job. The community has been so receptive. And so we're trying to say yes as much as we can to get the word out. However, I think we're to the point where it is being successful. And not that we didn't think it would be, but so quickly. And so we are to the point where we're going to hire somebody.
We're going to have to. I know. We're going to have to. I know.
It's a big step, and we're looking into our next product. We're in debate. Catherine would love it to be tequila. But we have to figure that out a little bit.
Yeah, what's next? What makes sense?
But gin, we have our recipe approved, and I think it's going to be gin.
It will be gin.
It will be gin, yeah. But I'm excited about the gin because...
Okay, so who approves the recipe?
The government.
Oh, wow. And what is that? It's not the FDA.
No, it's the TTB. And it's very kind of complicated because every state has different rules, but then the whole federal government is the one that actually approves a recipe, which you would think it would not be that big of a deal, but because we use raw chemical-free honey and organic things, like all of our herbs will be organic, all of our botanicals will be organic. It takes us longer. It's like the government, if you're just going to use genetically modified corn, check, move on.
It's very easy.
Oh my God, it takes a day. We have taken months because they don't like the word.
Outside the box
it is
of
so
the category
outside
that
the
they
box.
understand.
There's not
and
a
they're like,
category.
which is also showing you that there's a need.
There's
because
a huge
you
need.
know that there's availability. And I think there are several things that you said that were impactful. I love that you started without hiring anyone because I think a lot of people perceive when you go in business that you first hire a team of people. And I think that's a really big misstep with people, as opposed to thinking, and that's when people ever ask my suggestion, I say you should do everything and you should be capable of doing everything. And I think that that's really telling because you can answer any question and you understand what it takes to get in a spec. You understand what it takes to create it, to get it passed by the government. Like all those things are really big. And have y'all read Malcolm Gladwell's The Outliers book?
Oh, yes, I have, but it's been
a long time.
But he didn't create this, but he talks about the 10,000 hour rule.
Yes.
And that to become an expert, it's 10,000 hours. And it seems like 5 years is 10,000 hours.
Which is what we really think. You know, I was really expecting us to do this for about 5 years without being able to hire somebody. And we looked at each other about a month ago and we were like, oh, I think we're there. Yeah.
And you need to be able to self-finance. Like you need, because to borrow the money and not make money, that's the other thing. To invest in the inventory, to be able to grow, to be able, and I think that's a mistake often people don't think about, is the capital it takes to be successful, that it has to be a passion project.
Very good point.
Over just making money.
And like you said, the inventory, creating the bottle, there's minimums. You're buying a mold
That you have to order.
Yes, that you have to order, and I mean, it was
ship it.
And the cap. We didn't even talk about the cap. I mean, that took forever, and we have 20,000 caps.
I know.
And that was the smallest minimum we could get.
Wow.
But we decided to screw instead of the cork, which most of them men like the cork.
Because we like the screw top.
Yeah.
And so we're like,
we like the screw.
this.
It's easier for us to get off and on.
Yeah.
Especially as we age.
And it's a good size.
Yes, because of the arthritis. I know. And I struggle with that too.
But you're exactly right. I mean, those are the things that you don't think about. And that's what it's taken. That's exactly what it's taken.
Yeah.
We did, going back to our friendship, when we first started this 5 years ago, we made a pact that if this became a problem and was going to ruin our friendship, we were going to not do it. We'd quit.
That's such a great, and I do think it's, I've only been, so I worked with my family business for 22 years. So my father and my brother, and then left to come work with my husband, although I started the Vintage Contessa, but it was still an offshoot of his brand. So I tell people I must be crazy to work with two men and leave to work with the other man in my life. But there's no one you trust as much.
Right.
But it is hard because you aren't, and when there is passion involved, and it is about creating something you believe in, to be on the same page. I do think it's amazing that you two could get to this point. So it's really incredible. So let's talk about the collaborations, who you partner with. You mentioned the distillery. Was the bottling company another interesting journey of collaboration?
No.
Okay, the labeling, like who did you hire to do the graphic design?
Women.
How did that? Okay.
Yeah, women.
And your PR person, I know, is a woman that you've, I presume, known for a while.
Our printer, Yvette, woman, I mean, she does our box. I mean, she's just
Our
incredible.
social media.
Women.
A bunch of women. And
Catherine Smith. Yeah, women.
PR. And so, yeah.
And you have had some great PR. So that's where I met you, is you reached out to influencers and sent a bottle. So how many did you send to? Do you know?
5?
a month.
We do 5 a month. Is that what it? Yeah.
6
And
a month.
And how many have you done so
6 a
far?
month.
Well, we just started.
I think you were one of the first.
You were our first.
Yeah. So that.
Wow,
when was that?
what an
Maybe
honor.
September.
Thank you.
Well, thank
September,
you.
October. We're on our 3rd month. November will be our 3rd month.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's crazy because Kendra Smith is one of my greatest friends too. And she was one of the people you guys sent to also.
Yeah.
So,
Because, y'all did a post together.
We did a post together. We were at a girls' weekend.
Yes.
And
So cute.
Oh, it was very cute.
So cute.
but I
are
feel
so
like
creative.
that's where like women getting together, celebrating. I think it's beautiful to add to your bar. It's a decorative thing you don't have to hide. I think there's so much value in all of that. So talk about, okay, so you're doing the Kappa pilgrimage. You align with some charities
March
also.
of Dimes.
March of Dimes, that's right.
That's
So
coming
tell
out.
us a little bit like how, because it is hard. Like we get literally probably 5 a week requests for charity. Like how do you decide who you're able to give to, who you're able to participate with?
Well, right now we've been probably very generous, but we've been reached out by friends. I personally love to support education. And so a lot of our gifts so far have been to school auctions. And so I think that that's an easy give. I love that personally. And then the March of Dimes, do you want to talk about that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, it's going to be a spectacular event. And
good.
It is taking us big time all of a sudden. So we're like, oh my goodness. We just did the Houston Chronicle Culinary Stars,
which was so much fun.
which
Oh,
was
good. I've never
so
been to
much
that.
fun.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, you've got to go next year. We never knew about it.
Yeah.
Like, we've got
Oh,
to
no.
go.
I've never
We're
even
hoping
knew
we
it.
get invited again.
Yes, I
Exactly.
know.
If you're watching, invite
Yeah,
us.
invite them. Invite them.
Restaurants around town, Bari, Brennan's.
Oh, good. We love Bari. That's our Sunday spot.
So many restaurants had little tastings, and then we were the vodka sponsor. So we were introduced to many Houstonians.
So I kind of think the March of Dimes will be very similar to that.
But it's
And maybe
raising
open
money.
doors for new restaurants for you to be in, to be called by name.
Yes, because it's the same sort of event with restaurants. coming
Good. So
and
it's not
bringing
just who you're meeting individually, but it's someone who would be selling for you, because that's such a significant part of it. I love that too. And then also Round Top. Oh my gosh. My mom and I used to go to Round Top like 20 years ago when it was literally walking the Marburger fields. And I don't know if you saw the Chanel doors when you walked in, but I got those in the field of Round Top. They came from St. Louis. Someone drove them down from St. Louis. It was a Chanel store in a Saks that closed.
I love
And I
No
bought
way.
them for $800. They would probably be $5,000 or more
At
now.
least. If they'd even let you buy them.
I know.
They may
right?
probably,
Right.
Chanel
They-
probably wouldn't let you do
That's
it.
very true.
Probably. But Round Top is a thing.
It
so
is a
did
thing.
you guys, you're going to it? You did it?
Well, it's a partnership through Armando.
Yes.
So
Oh,
we went
okay, good.
And
Lulu's.
And
yeah.
Lulu's.
Okay,
Yeah.
what a great,
And
Yeah.
they
we
are
stayed there
so
once.
Oh my
much
God,
fun.
they're so much
And their
fun.
bar is darling.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Talk
and
about
Matt?
girls trip. So that's, so you
Oh my
need
God,
to be in
so
that
fun.
bar, right? Women from the state of Texas supporting other women.
Yes. So that will, so anyway, we had I guess that was through Catherine and Matt, and we sat down with them and they were like, let's put you in the green room for the Round Top Film Festival. And so a whole lot of fun.
Yeah,
I know.
that comes through this week. I think it will. Yeah. So
Yes.
but we have to connect with them.
I know.
Close that loop.
I know.
Something to do. Yeah.
Yes,
Work
on the
to do.
to-do
The
list.
to-do list
On the
is
to-do
Yes.
quite long.
Yes, every day.
Exactly. Every day, so much going on. Okay, and then tell us about any other things coming up. The Stroll Magazine, Polo Grounds, Penner Holiday Party. I know Murray from way, way back. So all good people.
Oh, awesome. And then if you go to Carrabba's, they have us on the menu. They have one of our drinks on the menu. So I know, which is so cute. So
I
at
love
Grace's
that.
and the two Carrabba's, they have the two original Carrabba's. They have us on the menu. So that's so fun.
And you can get Osmia for any of your favorite
Yes.
vodka cocktails.
You don't have to have it in that particular
That's
way
right.
because when I go, I make my own.
Yeah,
So
I like my dirty martini. So.
yes.
Oh, good.
I know. So you don't have to get it the way they present it.
But
But,
it is
yeah,
fun to
that
be
is
on the
fun to
menu.
be on the menu.
It's an
Yeah,
honor.
it's so cool.
Amazing.
We're working hard.
Yeah, I know. And Tony's has us on the menu as well, but I think it's more like you order whatever you want. That it's not a particular drink.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You guys did your kickoff event there,
Yes.
and sadly
Yes.
I missed it. But
You had
Donna
something
is a
else,
great friend. Oh, we did
love
the
her.
Portia event with.
Kate and
It was with Portia River Oaks, my friend Maria Alawi.
Yes.
She honored other women, but I feel like that had to be great. And Donna's so supportive. And isn't her chef a female
Kate,
too?
yes.
Okay, good.
yes, and I mean, and then her head bartender is a female, Kennedy, and so her like the buyer that does the alcohol, because every restaurant, which I didn't realize this, has a beverage buyer, and and their beverage buyer is a female. So it is truly, Tony's is very female friendly. So we love going there. But there's the one place, I'm trying to remember the name of that bar that has the black diamond.
Plume.
Plume.
Super excited about
Gorgeous.
Plume. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Oh my God,
first
you've
of all.
got to go there.
It's
beautiful.
I don't know about this place.
It's in the Heights.
Okay.
Rich colors, rich turquoise, like
Have you been
like a
to
peacock.
that?
Like
Okay,
a-
you need to know.
like a peacock, like the rich
Oh, it's
turquoise.
Oh, good. It sounds like a
beautiful
fun place for a
burgundy.
photo shoot.
It's
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
and they have gone to they had their own Pinterest board while they were designing this restaurant, and it shows. It is so. It's like Vegas and Houston, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
The
It's a
detail.
little London, a little Vegas, a
London,
little New
Vegas.
York.
It's
Oh my God,
really
it's
elegant.
beautiful.
So we're excited.
But he has us on the menu as the Black Diamond Martini.
Oh,
and he's doing like they don't do bottle service, but they're doing kind of a cocktail service. So they'll take a cart to your table and make the cocktail special for you. So since it is an expensive
that's
product,
nice.
it's kind of
He calls it the excessives.
the excessives.
Okay, so they did that in Capri, Italy, at a table with a gin drink. They came
fun.
to the table to make it.
Yes.
Ooh, that would
But
be
I
fun.
don't
Muddle something.
think of many places in the world that come to your table to make the drink. That's really innovative.
Yes, it's very innovative. Instead of a champagne service,
right, because then they make a big fuss. But that is so good.
So good. And he
really
said
cool.
he didn't have a top shelf vodka.
he was like,
So again,
he was so excited.
It kind of again filling a niche,
Right.
with our product that. Again, we're really proud of it. Oh, and we just won an award.
Got a gold.
Yeah,
I
we
know.
got a gold.
I know.
And,
Where's your
It
ribbon?
was the Las Vegas.
It takes a while.
It does.
get the
It
ribbon.
does. That was the Las Vegas one.
Okay.
So
Takes a while for the ribbon.
It does. We're like, okay, we want the ribbon.
Oh my God. Speaking of ribbons, we are such girly girls here that for a while, we, instead of first we ordered pins for everyone. When you had a good day, you would get a pin. And then we ordered sashes, like the Miss America sashes. It could be like whatever. So y'all need to make sashes. We're like winners of the whatever that you can wear places.
yes.
So you can
And a
have your
crown.
sash and the
Yes.
crown. for
we
the
have
queen.
some crowns.
We do. We have
lots of crowns.
We have
Okay,
a
good.
sweatshirt that says Vodka Queen, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
we should have that.
Well, I
We
think-
should have. We need to do that.
That could be a next thing. Not that you need more on your plate. I hate it when people are like, you should do this. You're like, but you could make swag because it's just so pretty.
It's just so well.
And I feel like people would love, to have a bag or have something. And maybe, too, I see it as a great gifting option to people.
It's very good, especially for the holidays. But yeah, like
instead of a bottle of wine, to take that to someone and have the clear wrap with something.
And we
Maybe
have
I need to
recipe
work on that.
cards.
Okay, tell us about that.
Recipe cards are on. They're on our website, and so Catherine is our mastermind on recipe design.
Okay.
And I am the taster, and so I'm like, don't
good.
like that. Oh, yes, I like that. So it's a lot of power, but. She likes sweeter drinks, and I don't like a sweeter drink. So
Okay.
no, I don't like that.
I don't like that. But anyway, so
She likes some spicy.
it would be really
I love
fun.
spicy, too.
Well, which is why we're having 3 gins, not just 1 gin, but we have 3
Oh, my.
gins.
Okay.
Yes, because she likes the floral. That'll be the first one out, and it is delicious.
Oh, it's so
Okay.
good.
Mine is going to be a spicier gin. with
So,
peppercorns
from my
and
perspective,
cinnamon.
I'm not gin, but Rob is. BCN is the place for gin drinks.
Yes.
Do you know that? Okay,
yes.
good. I've heard this. I'm not a gin drinker, so
I
I
have
don't
my own
really
table
know.
there.
But you do.
I
Okay,
do.
good.
When I call, I'm always like, okay, I want table number,
Okay,
and I'm not
good.
going to say it out loud because
No,
then
'cause you
people will
don't
take
want
my
anyone to-
table.
Don't tell them.
I have my
Keep
own
it
table.
close to the vest.
Yes, I have my
Okay.
own table there, and I have my own table at Dory's.
Oh, good. I don't know Dory's. I got to check that out.
Oh, we're at Dory's too. Dory's
Okay, good.
Metropolitan. Oh my God, that's another fabulous restaurant on Shepherd.
Okay, very
Across from Amore.
exciting.
And they actually chose Osmia in the Sangria Throwdown, which happened a few months ago.
Yep.
And used our vodka in their Sangria entry for a competition, which was very fun.
I know.
I
And we were
love
very
that.
honored
So
to
does
be
the rodeo
chosen.
have a category for you or not? Is it just wine?
We haven't gotten that
we
far.
haven't gotten that far.
But rodeo, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is world respected
Yeah.
for wines and champagnes, apparently.
I did not
So
know
I
that.
don't know if there's a category, but y'all should check
We
that
need to make
out.
one.
We need to make one.
Oh, you do need to make one.
Should we
You
be
gotta
on the
find
the wagon? Maybe we need to be on the wagon.
a wagon.
Can I drive the wagon?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. No.
One of my friends, Zane Carruth, a former podcast guest, was the first lady of the rodeo because Brady was the president of the rodeo, and I got to ride in her carriage.
That is very
And so when she was a podcast guest, I was like, girl, can we practice the
Yeah,
parade
I
wave?
love
You've got to
that.
have your presidential
Did you
first
get in the
lady
wagon,
wave.
or were you in that little wagon that does the race?
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
just went slower around.
Okay.
Thank God. Because
like a
I'm not
parade.
exactly.
drives very fast. We would win.
We would win.
But it could also be
I love the competitive nature. It's so
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
All right. So are there any awards that you're submitting for that are for that category?
well, the Las Vegas one just came.
Okay.
yesterday. I
Yeah,
guess
we
you
got
let me
that
know
one yesterday.
And then we did win from the International Women's Spirits Competition.
Oh,
which was
okay.
Earlier, we won double golds. We
Nice.
scored 96 points for maybe your
Out of 100?
Out of 100. So,
That's huge.
That's huge.
I'm very
Huge.
The
design awards.
we've won
Okay.
San Francisco Design Award.
We like to enter things.
We do
I
like
think
to enter
it's so
things.
smart because people they respond to the
Yeah.
awards.
And now I've gotten to the point where I can't remember all the awards.
Okay. And does it come in a box, or are you going to do a box eventually? Like a gift? Is that?
We have
And then you'll put the
prettiest
awards
We have the
on
most
box.
gorgeous
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's what we should do. We should
Put the awards on the box.
Oh my! I wish we had a black box. It's so.
Well, we do have a
amazing.
black box.
I meant to show tonight.
We do have a black box.
You open it and it's pink. It's all the
Okay,
pink.
so we can
And it
just
has
put
all
it
our
out
B
there
words.
With our
that
B words.
You will be adding that to your Instagram, so they'll have to be
Yes.
going to your Instagram.
Yes.
Tell them your Instagram. Tell them your
It's
website.
Queen Bee Distilling.
Yes,
That's
And
it.
Website is
QueenBeeDistilling.com. Yeah.
simple as good.
Very simple. Yeah.
And was it hard to get that, or was Queen Bee already taken?
Can you believe? No.
What?
yeah.
I know.
I know.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? I know.
Somebody had abandoned it, maybe.
So
don't
even
think
just
so.
Queen
Think
Bee
so.
was available?
Well, okay, so how
Queen
trademarking
Bee.
works
Okay.
is they have different categories. So there's like
Oh.
Queen Bee Honey.
Okay.
There's Queen Bee maybe.
Oh, I'm getting like a Queen Bee eye pillow. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
but
good.
we're in the spirits industry and we are the only Queen Bee
Uh-huh.
distilling. I think there was maybe a
That's-
Queen Bee in another state that was a beer,
Brewery.
a brewery, but they've been abandoned.
Good for y'all.
I know.
What a
I know.
category.
Well, again, there are not very many women in this industry.
Yes.
They all are doing, the Texas names and the,
yeah.
boot scooting,
Yeah.
vodka and stuff like that.
Exactly,
So-
which I could boot scoot with this too.
Oh, I could boot scoot, baby.
I love that. Yes.
Yes, yes, you could.
Do the disco.
I
thing.
always
Yes.
feel like I can dance better after I've had vodka. I don't know about y'all.
Absolutely.
Me.
I
too.
sing better. I dance
I
better.
look so much
I'm
cuter.
I'm prettier.
And I'm
Exactly. Until I see my picture the next morning, and then I realized I wasn't quite as cute as I thought I was looking. Maybe I should have used more powder. Well, ladies, we have got to drink some of this together soon. What a pleasure. So much
you.
fun.
Thank you.
Y'all
So fun.
are so fabulous and so inspiring. Like, there are opportunities. There are things that haven't been done. Like, just live your best life, chase your dreams, do what you're passionate about. Go for it.
Well, you're just darling and precious. Thank you so much for having us, really.
We agree. Yeah.
Totally, totally.
It's so fun.
You're a
Thank you very
trailblazer.
much.
Aw.
That's right.
Absolutely. Trailblazing
And a
for
boot
us.
scooter.
And a
All
boot
right.
scooter.
On that note, living the authentic life. It happens to be Halloween here, but you could drink this certainly for the holidays.
Oh.
And Valentine's, I can't even wait to see what y'all are going to do with that. Galentine's, look out. All right, bye, y'all. Keep it real.